Silence is not absence. It is presence without noise. The man who controls his tongue controls his world. In every era, men of authority have understood this law. Words cheapen power. Silence multiplies it. A man's silence is not emptiness. It is a weapon, a shield, and a signal. It separates the impulsive from the disciplined. It sets apart those who chase validation from those who command respect. To master silence is to master influence. 1. Silence as command. The most powerful kings, generals, and leaders seldom spoke more than necessary. Their words carried weight because silence framed them. A man who speaks constantly exhausts his authority. A man who waits, pauses, and delivers words sparingly amplifies his authority. Command is not volume. Command is restraint. When a man chooses silence, others lean in. People assume importance lies in what is withheld. This draws attention without effort. In negotiation, silence forces the other to reveal more. In confrontation, silence unsettles the aggressor. In intimacy, silence creates mystery. 2. Silence as self-mastery. Noise is impulsive. Silence is discipline. A man who cannot control his tongue exposes his weaknesses. He reacts, defends, explains, justifies. He spends his energy proving rather than demonstrating. A man who is silent guards his energy. He allows actions to speak. Self-mastery demands detachment from validation. The urge to explain is the urge to be understood. Stoicism teaches that others' perception is outside your control. Silence cuts the chain of dependence. It keeps your dignity untouched by gossip, criticism, or provocation. The disciplined man knows that his silence irritates those who expect reaction. They want a response. He gives none. His calm refusal to engage displays higher strength than any verbal defense. 3. Silence as psychological pressure. Human beings are uncomfortable with silence. In conversation, silence feels heavy. In conflict, silence feels threatening. The one who tolerates silence longer dominates the frame. When a woman tests a man, she often seeks reaction. Anger, pleading, justification, all reveal insecurity. Silence denies her control. It forces her to confront her own thoughts instead of feeding on his energy. In male rivalry, the same rule applies. The one who argues loudly loses composure. The one who remains silent appears unshaken. His stillness becomes intimidation. He becomes unpredictable. 4. Silence as attraction. Desire feeds on mystery. Overexposure kills allure. The man who speaks too much kills imagination. The man who withholds words keeps curiosity alive. Masculine presence is built not in constant pursuit, but in controlled distance. Women are drawn to men whose silence challenges them. Silence implies depth, suggests inner strength, signals that he is not desperate to fill voids with chatter. Attraction is not created by telling a woman how much you care. It is created by silence that makes her question how much you do. The unknown is stronger than the declared 5. Silence in conflict. In conflict, words escalate. Silence diffuses. An insult answered with silence denies fuel. Provocation answered with silence forces the aggressor into frustration. The Stoic man knows anger burns itself when not fed. He does not trade insults. He does not defend his ego. His silence exposes the immaturity of the attacker. The crowd always respects the one who holds composure. This does not mean cowardice. It means controlled response. A silent man is not weak. He is calculating. He chooses his words only when they carry finality. 6. Silence in strategy. Every strategist in history has used silence as a tool. To conceal intention is to protect advantage. Silence keeps others guessing. To reveal plans is to lose leverage. A man who is silent in his moves strikes when least expected. His silence keeps enemies blind. His silence makes competitors anxious. His silence protects his ambition from sabotage. The warrior does not broadcast his next strike. The builder does not reveal his blueprint. The man who lives by silence builds without interruption, moves without interference, and arrives without warning. 7. Silence in relationships. Masculine silence stabilizes relationships. Emotional storms demand reaction. A man who mirrors chaos destroys harmony. A man who remains silent anchors the situation. Women test men through emotional storms. The weak man defends, shouts, begs. The stoic man remains calm, detached. His silence communicates certainty. It reassures without words. It proves he is not shaken by fleeting emotions. Silence is also boundary. When disrespect appears, silence in withdrawal is stronger than endless debate. It tells her, respect is not negotiable. 8. Silence as spiritual strength. Silence is the root of reflection. A man who cannot sit in silence cannot know himself. He is enslaved by distraction. The stoic man embraces silence as meditation. He observes his thoughts, filters them, controls them. Great men sought solitude not to escape the world, but to rule themselves. Silence gives clarity. Silence reveals truth. Silence creates a fortress of mind, unshaken by external noise. 9. The economy of words. Every word spent is energy released. A man who spends words carelessly weakens himself. A man who rations words multiplies their value. When a silent man finally speaks, the room listens. His words carry gravity because silence surrounded them. Men who speak less are remembered more. Men who speak constantly are forgotten quickly. Power lies not in constant expression, but in deliberate expression. 10. Silence as legacy. The great men remembered in history are not remembered for endless speeches, but for controlled words and silent presence. Marcus Aurelius ruled more through action than proclamation. Genghis Khan struck silently, speaking less than his generals. Even modern leaders who shape nations use silence to amplify authority. A man who lives in silence builds an aura. His presence lingers even when he is gone. People remember the weight of his composure, not the noise of his chatter. Final principle. Silence makes men powerful because it is control over self, over others, and over circumstance. It removes dependence, multiplies authority, and breeds respect. The man who can remain silent holds the strongest voice.